These 43 to 63 years old are suffering from the second wave of human crisis. That is the middle age. For people who are 63 and below, it is prolonged middle age crisis. When you are now dealing with Gen Zs, either as direct children or grandchildren, and definitely if you are becoming a grandfather or grandmother at 63 or 60, then you're dealing with your grandchildren who are Gen Alpha. At this age, it is also likely that your children will belong to two generations. You will have the older children being millennial and the younger children being Gen Zs. And if you are still having children who are less than 10 years old, you also have the third generation, Gen Alpha. Now, the millennial are 43 years old, oldest. They are born 1981 to 1996. The Gen Zs are basically 1997 to 2012. The oldest of Gen Z ordinarily should be 27 years old. However, we found that most of the millennials behave like Gen Zs. So, because they are close anyway, you find Gen Zs capturing 7 years backward and making them behave in ways that parents will have headache. Most of our BP issues arise from the mismanagement of our Gen Z children. So what are the characteristics of these generations? The baby boomers, the old people, we are only two of them here or so for now. Let me see. I can only identify only two baby boomers here. People who are between 60 and 78. They value loyalty. They value discipline. These are the people who keep the oldest friends. They value discipline. These are the people who will get angry if anybody misbehaves. And they are today the first group of permanently angry people in the world, because the world has broken down in terms of discipline. So, number three, they value hard work. And this is the exact opposite of what's going on now. Nobody wants to work anywhere in the world now. They are often associated with traditional social values and a strong work ethic. Two issues. They belong to their family. They know their village. They know their cousins. They know everybody. This is what we have lost today. So they are permanently angry. The children cannot be made to know their cousins because their children are usually abroad. There are two types of abroad. Their children are either in the cities, while after retirement, they have gone back to the village. And so if their children are not really in Europe and America, they are several hundreds of kilometers away from them as a result of changing circumstances. While they served their parents, while they were very good children, while they may still be serving their aged and their ailing parents, their own children don't serve them. And let me quickly go to the second generation, to which many of us conveniently belong, and join with generation baby boomer. Generation X, they value independence, self-reliance, work-life balance. They are very dutiful. They do their work, whatever work they're doing, they do it with duty, dexterity, commitment, truth, they keep promises, all of which are now the opposite that we can find in the world today. They are often seen as pragmatic and adaptable. And this is the cause of the present hardship. We are the silent generation. Instead of complaining, instead of asking for the ideal, we create a balance between the ideal and the reality and we become pragmatic, so we keep quiet. Instead of complaining of hardship, we adapt to hardship. We only tell stories. And we now run into trouble when we are face to face with the realities of our own children. The next generation to us are the millennials. They value diversity. You won't find anybody between 28 and 43 years old today relying on only one job. Why we went to school for the purpose of getting government jobs. Only few of this generation want government jobs. And in Nigeria, they want only 5 jobs. They want Federal Inland Revenue, Central Bank, Civil Defense and the like, Custom, Immigration, where they can make their own money, NNPC. Anything that has to do with government that will give them big money and make them millionaires in 1 year. They don't care how their parents will get the job for them. They don't mind if the parents will buy the job. They don't mind any means by which they can get the jobs. Otherwise, it's either they're on their own and they join cults and do anything to make it, or do Yahoo. This is the troubles that we have with millennials joining Gen Zs. Most of the Yahoo boys, most of the criminals are the end point of millennial and Gen Zs. So they value social justice. They are often associated with technological savvy and a desire for flexibility and creativity in the workplace. Those of us who are in the Family Talim platform, I have posted all this into it. The baby boomers grew up during a time of economic prosperity and social change. They are often associated with the rise of consumer culture and the growth of the middle class. We are usually middle class. Those of you who are in my class, you know our life, our lifestyle. Gen X, which is very close to baby boomers, also experience economic uncertainty. This is the period when jobs were no longer available and unemployment started growing. Then social upheaval. In Nigeria, for example, coup, we all witnessed all this during our formative years. They are often seen as resilient and adaptable in the face of change. And that is what I said, that we are the troubles. We don't want to bring about change. We are not revolutionary in thinking. We are usually very, very adaptive and pragmatic. The millennials came of age during a time of rapid technological change and social media saturation. They are often associated with the rise of the gig economy, and changing attitudes towards work and leisure. They are not really interested in work. Their work that they will be interested in must be accompanied with leisure. They are attached to machines. They are the beginning of the machine life of the Gen Zs. So the Gen Zs grew up during a time of widespread technological adoption and social media dominance. They are often seen as digitally native and concerned about issues like climate, mental health, social justice. That is why it is easy for them to join NSAS. It is easy for them to be used for protest and so on. Yeah, there are so many other things that you can read on your own. It's just an introduction to these generations. I want to go to the main problem so that we can start preliminary conversation. The main problem is what accounts for these changes. It is Satanism. Shaitan takes over the world and tries to change human beings. I will mention only one means and only one stratum of the society that it badly affects. It is you and I. It affects our own stratum of the society. We are educated. We went to school. We are the ones that enjoyed truth, honesty, peace as a result of healthy family life. We were the ones that were not, addicted to television. We were the television age when we came to life. We were the ones that had to go to places to watch television when we were young. But we were the ones that bought television into our houses. And we were the ones that started watching cartoon. So our children who are now Gen Zs, who are millennial Gen Zs, are now addicted to these cartoons on our television. And these cartoons have introduced a lot of satanism. Everything that is satanic has been factored into this cartoon. So this is the source of their dream. If you complain about electricity, blah, 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 the cartoon, your television, everything, every evil is in your hand now. It's on your phone. Your Gen Z children are technologically savvy and they're digitally literate. So they are native of the digital age. Everything that you can avoid is in their hands. Whether you buy phone for them or not, they own phones. Tonight is not the way to trace how they make money and how they prioritize phone, especially phone. It is for them. They are the consumers of the gig economy. These are the headaches for the Gen X. We are the ones that serve our parents, like I said. We are the ones that are saddled with the troubles of our old, aging, and ailing parents. We are the ones that are in trouble over our old, ailing parents. Sometimes you don't even know which one to concentrate on, whether your parents or your own family. We are the same ones facing prolonged middle-age crisis and then the reality of our Gen Z children. It is a battle. It used to, like I said, it used to be prolonged teenage crisis, adolescent crisis. But now, every Gen Z is an adolescent and the crisis is more complicated. They are very secretive. They don't have human friends except those like them. Those they consider lower than them, they use as tools to make it. And they don't consider anything abominable to achieve anything. Like I said, they don't want government job for which we were programmed while going to school. We went to school, we read, we put our feet in water to pass WAEC. They will pass WAEC, pass JAM, pass any exam today, courtesy technology. They will only fail if they go to university like you are. and read certain courses, not even all courses, in the so-called Almighty UI, in the so-called Almighty UNILAG, Almighty ABU, Almighty IFE. No. They will do well in any second generation university, third generation university, and they will be excellent in private universities. They know how to pass exam. They were the beneficiaries of sorting that started 20 years ago. And we, their parents, especially the millennial parents, encouraged them, assisted them, facilitated the sorting. In fact, most parents do sorting for their children because they develop the entitlement mentality in the Gen Zs. They believe that every boy, every girl should go to the university. That is their target. They are going there not to learn, but to obtain certificates. And not to work with it, but to associate with people to learn the trade, how to make it by all means. They join cults, they join Illuminati. Indeed, Yahoo is an element of Illuminati today, Satanism. Because you won't know what's going on. Sometimes the effect of drugs and other associations that they join, manifest in slight psychiatric problem. They face psychological disorder, psychiatric disorder. They come home and add to our own headache. So you now find parents and children treating psychiatric issues as a result of non-vigilance, trust. You send your child to school, you throw him away, you don't know. And there seems to be no solution to this. We cannot keep children for now with us. Even the ones that are with us, do we know half of what they do? Do we really know half of them? Not to talk of children we throw abroad. Children, and we are proud of it because we, Generation X, are programmed to like foreign things. Our education has made us believe that anything European, anything American, anything Australia is the best. So we cherish everything modern, everything European. I'm going to prevent myself from sliding into decolonization of the Muslim mind. But this is the colonization of the Muslim mind. And we are so colonized that we are reckless in our attempt to make our children enjoy the world. In the process, we are under pressure to take care of our parents, to take care of our children, to take care of the desires, the wants of our family, and to look into the future. Eventually, we raise the social bar of our children to the extent that they cannot even marry among themselves. We inadvertently made our children to look at our children, you and I. We make our children to look at each other as being superior, and then they are looking for either inferior as a boy, they are looking for an inferior girl to marry, or as a girl, they are looking for a superior boy to marry. They can't find those among other children that belong to us. So their marriages have become the greatest issue. Once in a while, when we tend to force them or bond them or make them marry children of our friends, even brothers and sisters in Islam, the marriages break up. This is almost on daily basis. One happened today. It is life coaches that face this trouble. So this is a danger for the future. In the face of all this, how can you determine the dream of Gen Z? Gen Z that you don't even know. Their dreams are very complex. I want you to read their characteristics. Then you will derive their dreams. Next week, we are going to have a good conversation. Whoever is on this Zoom that is not in the DFN Family Talim may kindly contact Engineer Idowu to be added so that we can, after adding, we can repost the documents about the generations. Then we can read ahead so that next week it won't be lecture. We will just sit down and discuss their dreams. If we know their dreams, then we now ask ourselves, can we manage their dreams? I was in a school and I asked children to tell me what they wanted to be. The boys wanted to be Islamic school, you know. The boys want to be Yahoo, footballers, musicians. The girls want to be models, and so on. Things that I should not even tell you. Are you sure that this is not what is turning in the minds of your children? Generation Alpha is worse because they don't apologize. They don't consider anything they do wrong. Everything they do is correct. And they have a greater entitlement mentality than Gen Zs. And you are going to deal with these people as you grow. Gen Zs will give back to Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha will give back to Gen Beta, and the world is going to face the crisis that it has never faced before. Because there's the possibility that cat girls will give back to Gen Beta from 2026. And we have robots among the elite. Then, if the elite are going to lose leadership because there will be no integrity, Gen Zs hardly have any integrity at all. They lie. And they don't enjoy true friendship. They are mostly introverts. They don't go out. And introverts are more dangerous than extroverts. Let me stop here, bros and brothers and sisters. I ask Allah to take charge of our lives, to help us. Nínú àwọn àlámọ̀rí wa yìí, aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullaha li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan, sir. We have some messages in the chat room while we wait for people to indicate their interest in contributing or asking questions by raising their desire. I think you can respond to those chats in the chat room, sir.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Alaikum salam. Thank you very much, mommy. Salam. Alaikum salam. What is the Islamic injunction on a child who became an apostate? 1. Will the person still benefit from their Muslim parents' inheritance? No. Once a child becomes an apostate, he is disinherited. If this person passes on, is it right for the family to claim the body for burial? Well, this matter will not arise. In most cases, if he or she apostates, the group that he or she belongs to will take care of his or her burial. So rather than to say Shaitan took over the world, it is more factual to say Shaitan has re-strategized and made immorality more sophisticated. Shaitan has taken over since the first pair of humans were evicted from paradise. How excellent. Allahu Akbar. This is the correct position. I drop my opinion. I take this. This is more correct than my own. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khairan, Prof. That Shaitan took over from day one with Adam and Hawa. So he is only re-strategizing. Thank you very much for this useful insight. So this is how far I've gone. This question on apostasy, if Barrister Abdul Fattah Bakri and any other person that knows the law can contribute, and if I'm correct, it's okay. So Alima is raising hand. Alima, we don't know whether this Alima is a grammar now. She only mentions Alima. Alima, can you lower your hand and then talk? Can you unmute? You have been. Alima can unmute. Ustaz Abdul Razak Kabir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, sister.
And this Alima is a grandma. Alhamdulillah. Yes.
That's why. So thank you for correcting us.
And I have some fears about the Gen Alphas. As you rightly said, the Gen Alphas that we have under us, they're watching us so closely. We're supposed to, the millennials are supposed to be their role models. But alas, just as you rightly said too, that they too are still battling with some issues yet unsolved. And now the Gen Alphas that they have given birth to are also in the middle of mud. Can you imagine? Can you imagine some of the Gen Alphas that I know saying that because of what they see in their parents, the modeled up, not understanding themselves, trying to, this ego that they're trying to push out from themselves, saying to their parents that, I feel like committing suicide.
Yes, we have cases. It's general. It's common.
La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
Saying he wants to commit suicide. It's very common now.
La hawla wa
It's
la
very
quwwata
threatening.
Oh,
it's not isolated. They said, their parents are crazy. So instead of living with crazy parents, they want to end it.
Yes. It took Allah's intervention. It took Allah's intervention to gradually, we have not reached the peak, gradually trying to remove these thoughts from their mind. And why? Because they've seen what these so-called parents are doing to themselves. What examples do they have that they want to copy? Tí ó bá ṣe àwa tọ́lọ́run tún ní kí tọ́lọ́run yìí save wa ta ìwà láyé. One of the Gen Alphas, tọ́lọ́run bá wa fà, one of the Gen Alphas, just about 3 days ago, was telling me, Grandma, do an Aljana be under the feet of Grandma?
Can you imagine?
I said, well, the Prophet said under the soul of your mom, but by indirectly, it's under Grandma too. Because I didn't want to make her I didn't want to make her feel sad. Then when she said under, can it be under Grandma? Because she's not getting what she wants in totality from her. Just like she was resilient, she saw our than disabuse gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ níta yẹn, than disabuse ẹ̀ táwa wá ń fún wọn ní pé no, just excel kò dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé we are all working for Allah. Allah ni goal tiwa o. you know. You event you said nígbà tí mo tó sọ pé can it be under ipe nígbà tó sọ pé tí mo sọ pé kì í ṣe under grandma exactly oh man you know ipe ó mà ṣe o tí kò jẹ́ under ó mà ṣe tí kò ń ṣe under mama and tí kò ń ṣe under grandma so nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹ̀bẹ̀ àti sùúrù la máa fi wọ́ àwọn jẹnáfà yìí sùúrù la máa fi wọ́ wọn àdè máa fàdúrà tì nítorí tí wọ́n yàtọ̀ pátápátá kọ́lọ́run kó jọ kó gbàdúrà lórí wọn ni really that's as you rightly said náà ni àdéhùn àwọn millennials tí àyè ń rè lójú yìí náà àmà wọ́n ti ní they cannot be they don't want to be like us ẹ̀yin tí sùúrù tí yín ti pọ̀ jù no I mean you took that man kò lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀ iná kò lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ní tọ̀ báwa ṣe ṣeré tọ́lọ́run dẹ̀ gbà fún wa ó dà pé máa fi sùúrù tó ìgbésí ayé yìí náà ni kọ́lọ́run kó lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́yìn náà.
Thank you very much. Grandma Eshigo, thank you very much for enriching this conversation tonight. The two dangers that we must emphasize is that we are gradually losing control over the Gen Zs. And millennial Gen Z, millennial Gen Z, don't be alpha. What we should take as our responsibility is to retrain the parents, take over their affairs as much as we can. Kama shebi tiwa, wípé táwa ti jáde school, àwa la tún tọ́jú àwọn òbí wa, àwọn eléyìí ò lè tọ́jú wa, àwa la máa tọ́jú wọn. Then we take over strategically. The alpha want grandparents. They want grandma, they don't want mommy. Àwa la gbọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun, and it is Islamic. Láti dá grandchildren pọ̀ mọ́ ọmọ tó. Especially ọkùnrin, it is wrong for us to assume that what our parents did for us was the right thing, tama transfer, so that no. The parents stopped taking care of us. We started taking care of them. Today, we have to belong to the ideal. The ideal is you cannot stop taking care of your male child. Then your grandchildren become part of your family. And unfortunately for us, in contact, that complacency is the right thing. It is to take over our grandchildren. Many of them prefer grandparents to their own parents because turbulence na ọmọ yẹn ń gbé. Àwa náà ti ṣe wèrè tiwa, ó yẹ kó ti rẹ̀ wá ń sìn. At 60, mi ò rò pé yẹ kí èèyàn tún máa jà mọ́ tí ò bá sí ṣù ń bẹ̀. At this point, àwa ti calm down. Àwa la lè fún Gen Alpha ní value. Bíbẹ̀ kan, like you said, ma, we are in trouble. Ọlọ́run kó má jẹ́ kó sí trouble. Thank you very much. The best way to handle Gen Z, mo ti sọ yẹn, Sister Rofia. The suicidal thought of the Gen Z and some of the older generation is about their endemic confusion of the essence of life and what our world is all about. Correct. And ibi tí ṣe tiwa wà nìyẹn. We have to live for them to know that pursuit of happiness is irrespective of your material condition. And to develop the right faith, to sit down to our responsibilities, to help one, láti marry. Because it's not wrong for now. Láti struggle to empower the Gen Zs to marry and continue to take care of them after marriage. Unlike what happened to us. This is the only way. And to talk to them regularly, not to sọ pé wàhálà tèmi náà wà fún mi. No, wàhálà tèmi o. So if you don't talk to them, you don't know what's going on in their minds. And like I said, one of the most dangerous traits is that they are generally introverts. Unfortunately, Gen Alpha Tombi, they are mostly geniuses. Gen Alpha are mostly geniuses. So we have to up our games and be up and doing. Because this is me. Aljana láti sinmi. Mommy, that is the word, strategically. Yeah, I agree with you, but how do you divide yourself among the many children? The many children. This is a crucial question. Grandma Oizio, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ later. But Oizi, ọ̀rọ̀ kan tẹ̀ wá tó yẹ kí n pẹ̀lú ń sọ outside this forum. Mo tiẹ̀ ti gbàgbé láti jọ ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ní kẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Oizi, these children love us, especially grandmas. They are ready to talk to their grandmas. Even the Gen Zs, even the millennials, they are ready to talk to mommy. And the grandchildren are more ready to talk to grandma. Exercise Denny. Whatever we can do to make them live close to us and take over without any prejudice, to ensure that they have what they deserve of life in Amache. I know very clearly that it is not easy, but I know also that that is the only option that we have. We are going to buckle up to continue the battle with Shaitan.
Yes, I think this is just 1 minute to the agreed time. Yeah, I've seen the national coordinator on the platform. Can you please come up with your national coordinator? I think my national coordinator has done again. No?
Let us unmute national coordinator. That's the problem.
Yes, I think the network has thrown him out.
Oh my God. While waiting for him, why don't you do the closing remark? Because it is time, so that people can go and sleep.
Well, alhamdulillah, we just have to appreciate all of us for sparing our time. But it really worth it, because so many people are even go psychiatric due to the behavior of these our children. We don't have to go crazy. Our children will not go crazy. We manage ourselves and continue to drag ourselves until we enter Al-Jannah together. So this is one of the ways we think we can empower us to be able to handle the situation. That is why we join us, to always make it a date to join us every Tuesday from 8:30 to 9:30. Invite others. Those who have sent their numbers, I will try and have them tonight before I sleep, despite my my condition. I will just make sure I do the need, because we all need to do it together. We appreciate us for spending our time and pray to Allah to accept it as ibadah from all of us. So, Imam, you can close for us. Imam, you can close, sir.
I didn't know that I was muted. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم. The national coordinator was not able to unmute, but he's with us. He's with us.
I can't see him.
He is
I
with
think
us.
Yes, he was really, but when it was time for him to make his remarks, the network threw him out or something like that.
No problem. Next
That
week, if we talk, let him talk.